Welcome, everyone. My name is Dunna. My pronouns are he, him. I am running 316 Carnage Amongst the Stars tonight. The game by Gregor Hutton. This is our 17th planet with the Gauntlet. So quite a long run. We're coming to the end of the list in this sector. Hopefully we'll get this done and dusted in November, and maybe we'll think about doing something different in the new year. Let's have intros from our players and their characters in rank order, and see who everyone is.
So rank order, ascending or descending?
Let's go descending, Jim. Seeing as you're unmuted, we'll let you go first.
All right, I am Jim Crocker. I run and play a whole lot of games in the Gauntlet. I'm one of the folks that helps organize our Gauntlet Open Gaming Weekends, one of which we just had a couple weeks ago. It went very well. Everybody seemed to have a great time. We should have another one coming up, sort of end of winter, beginning of spring, something like that, like January, February or something. So that's something to keep an eye out for. I use he, him pronouns, although they, them, more generically is totally fine with me too. I am going to be playing Major BD. The BD stands for button down because he has a reputation for doing things by the book. He knows that his reputation is explicitly knows the regs. So he knows all of the in and outs and, what rules you're supposed to follow. And I think importantly, what some of the loopholes in some of those regulations might be as well. So that if you need a break or need an edge, but need to do so in a way that will not get you in trouble, you can follow the letter of the law as far as the regs go, or the letter of the reg instead of the spirit of the reg, if such a thing is necessary to get you through it. I started as a sergeant and have risen to the level of major. I just recently received a promotion and am really looking forward to seeing how high in the ranks I can climb. We met the brigadier for the first time in our last run. So that's got me thinking about that. So we'll see how that goes.
Thanks, Jim. Brian.
Yeah, I'm Brian, he, him, and I am playing Terry Miter, who was a trooper back when this whole series of games started. I think failed to promote on screen, but then essentially off screen promoted to sergeant after missing a few sessions, and then when he returned, promoted a few times and is now captain, and then has missed a few sessions again. So, and joining once again.
And what's,
is noted for having a lot of nervous energy that was an annoyance to his superiors when he was a trooper, and now he uses to run those underneath him under his command ragged.
Cool, thanks, Brian. And Puckett, let's go.
Hey there, I'm Puckett, he, him pronouns. Tonight I'll be playing Sergeant Dietrich. I'm a tough son of a bitch and I eat tougher steaks. I like killing shit. I'm good at it.
Okay, and yes, Sergeant Dietrich is that simple. Got a big gun and just happy to use it for every problem in front of him. And tonight we are joined for the first time by Leandro.
Yeah, Leandro, use he and pronouns. I'm jumping into this campaign as Trooper Crestmere, who is more of a silent type. They've just been drafted in, and they're the kind who will just salute, say yes, look down the shoes and look down the barrel of the gun, because why invite anything more complex than that? That's just asking for trouble. This is a war. You start thinking about more complicated stuff. It gets tricky. So I'm here to follow orders, hopefully not die. Otherwise, be spoken. They're the kind of person who would be spoken to, but probably won't speak back, and they won't start a conversation, but they might end one. And that's all. That's all they are at the moment.
Okay, cool. So when last we saw most of you guys with BD's promotion to major, he is taking in charge an independent recon company for the brigade. So I guess I just want to see a little bit of detail for how he puts that new company into shape. Jim, has BD brought some good people from F Company? Even if there's a lot of new faces there, has he been able to bring some of his favorites along with him?
I have. Explicitly, I want as an attaché and advisor are the guy that's been our contact with the Special Services Group.
Okay, yeah.
Who we gave a name to, and I think this comes up every couple of sessions. We're trying to remember.
I will find his name for you.
Yeah,
in my notes somewhere.
So we are kind of regularly I am very explicitly aiming to have our company be the one that is most valuable and useful to special services. Like, if they need something done, they call us. They can count on us to be discreet. They can count on us to, take experimental weapons into the field with us when where others might balk and stuff like that. Because we've done that before, and it's worked out well for us. And so, the culture I'm cultivating is the idea that we're an elite company that is, we're not just like regular grunts doing regular grunt stuff. I think Captain Miter is in charge of all of the bureaucracy and paperwork and, fending off petty bureaucratic bullshit that might get in our way. And Sergeant Dietrich is in charge of teaching people how to shoot straight and, stab stuff with bayonets and all of that.
Okay. Yeah. So for Captain Miter, what's that new job like? What's the learning curve threatening to do to him?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think when we last saw Captain Miter, he was trying to rewrite the grenade section of the field manual, the proper protocols.
Make sure no one could ever use grenades again.
And he submitted that up the line and assumes it's getting good attention because he worked very hard on it. It's probably sitting filed away somewhere being ignored. But in his mind, this is directly because that his work on that has been recognized, and it's probably not his favorite stuff to do, but he's got a lot of energy, and if you pile a bunch of stuff in front of him, he'll attack it. So
okay,
it's probably a bottomless well of paperwork, but it almost looks like he may actually be keeping up with it, which is kind of amazing. I don't know how good a job of it he's doing, but he's doing his best and doing a lot of it.
And keeping it from getting to my desk.
If that's what I'm told to do, then yeah.
So long as you swallow most of the water, Miter, your major is happy. So yeah, that guy from Special Studies is Borowski, Jim. So let's see if we can forget his name in the next week.
Well, that's how they prefer it. So
yeah. I mean, by design, right? How about Dietrich? how is this new assignment messing up your all you need is kill attitude? I mean, last time I think during your promotion, we saw you trying to take on some paperwork and caring for your troopers. Sorry, Pucker, can you try again? Sorry, I just got kicked out there. Sorry, Puckett. So I got kicked out just as you were replying.
Oh, that's okay. I was just going on about how it is no interference at all to teach people how to kill things. That is in fact what I do love to do. And yeah, that's as long as I can get them pointing their guns forward, not shooting me. They'll be in good shape.
Factor, yeah.
I mean, you'd think it's pretty simple, and for the most part it is, but there are people who sometimes everybody's good at different stuff. Sometimes some people ain't so good at learning what the word forward means. So, but I can work with them. I just still kind of proud about that kill ribbon I got. Brigadier recognizing that I'm good at it. Made me feel good. Still don't know why Brigadier General mentioned my mama, but BD told me not to worry about that, so I'm sure it's okay.
And how about Trooper Crestmere? He's coming into this this elite unit, straight from boot camp. What's it like slotting into this group of people, and what stories have you heard about them on the way or to your bunk?
I've heard things, mostly numbers. Heard a lot of numbers. Very, very large numbers, high numbers. Apparently, there's some folks even say that each one number actually counts for a multitude of things underneath that one number. So when there's a number that says 150, it's actually 150 times 150, which is a lot. But nobody ever said anything about low numbers. Everyone just says high numbers. So there's got to be a modicum of truth there. So I think I feel better being part of a squad that has high numbers than low numbers. That's what I'm thinking.
And what do the rest of your squad mates notice about you? When you get your bunk.
I'm incredibly pretty. Like I should be on the cover of a magazine.
Well, how do you think they recruit so many, young fools into the brigade?
I figured, but I'm here. I'm here to do my duty.
So, yeah, I guess you're, as the Recon company, right, you've been given your own, let's call it a private warship to take you on your mission. You're on the frigate Altai, all to your lonesome. None of the other troopers messing up your routine. Jim, you're being sent to some desert world called Matisse. What have you heard from the brigadier, and then you can run your briefing.
What have I heard from the Brigadier about Matisse? So let me just, as a player,
Yeah.
Like, can I just make whatever kind of shit up here I want,
Yeah,
or what is the?
You can indeed. So it is a desert world, right? And the aliens there are dogs, extremely maneuverable dogs.
Yeah.
Um,
So what we've heard about Matisse is that our geologists have identified at this point 64 different kinds of sand that we may encounter there. And each of them is going to affect the way we move through it, the way it gets in our gear, you know, like the lighter than air, fine grit sand, you have to deal with differently than the heavy but nearly frictionless pits of like quicksand that you might just like drop into, and that our troopers are going to be reading up about sand and all of the different kinds of sand that we might encounter on this world. And this is the thing that we're going to have to worry about. That this is that the environment here is every bit as much a hazard as whatever we run into when we get there.
And I guess for context, this is based on the last few missions that the brigade had. The rest of the brigade, those heavy duty battalions are doing the heavy lifting, but your mission, not just this planet, but for other ones, is to track down whoever's doing all this uplifting, right? Whoever's creating these warrior alien races to destroy humanity and the brigade along with it. So it's a very particular mission, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess it's a desert world with a lot of different terrain types under that umbrella. There's a lot of canyons and wadis and those shifting gigantic dunes that we associate with the Sahara. Lots of scrub, rocky terrain, all that kind of stuff. So the full gamut. In terms then of like what you've identified from your scans, do you want to come up with a drop zone or an approach on that?
Yeah, sure. I think that what we've got is something. There's very little standing water on this planet. And when the occasional rains do happen, they carve these massive multi-layered furrows into the ground that are essentially like labyrinths. And we have identified what's essentially like what used to be a river delta before it dried up, but is now, to the extent that whenever there is water here, this is kind of where it ends up before it, sluices into the basin that used to be an ocean and is just absorbed into the ground. That this kind of warren of all these carved out gullies and, like you say, switchbacks and this labyrinthine whole river delta, dried up river delta is where we are going in. Okay,
cool. So I guess as you can see, you have some access to some specific war gear. You can take your drop pods, although that will leave you on foot for a lot of those early missions. You can get dropped into an APC, or you can go around in your dropship, fly in the friendly skies.
I think for this is a lot of because this is recon and identify, and we know that there's these dog-like aliens running around and that they're going to have the run of these gullies and stuff like that. I think this is a dropship mission where we're going to, fly along, trying to sight targets And then once we see where, maybe where these aliens are coming from, or where it looks like there's a nest or something like that, that's where we'll drop in and
Okay, cool. So who's going to be piloting the dropship?
oh, that'll be me.
Of course. So normally, when you're on the range map, you can be pushed and pulled or move yourself into different ranges in comparison to the aliens. But when you're in the dropship, obviously you're under the control of whoever is piloting it, and that protects you. Though it's a limited protection. One of these dogs is gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
It's like one bonus armor pip. I think is kind of how it works. Yeah.
One of those dogs is going to end up in the intake, and that's going to screw your flying party up. Okay, so the other thing we do is whenever we're getting into an encounter. So this encounter is going to be usually one of 4, though sometimes just being 5. I'm gonna put some tokens in. So today, in the first encounter, we're gonna have 5 tokens. Okay. So every time you inflict a kill at a valid range with your weapon, you're gonna do D6 or D10 or D100 kills, whatever. But that is going to remove one of the tokens. And when you remove the last token in an encounter, you won the encounter, and we move on. We have a cutscene or some kind of role play in between. Okay, but before we do that, everyone needs to decide, how involved you are going to be in setting up that encounter. So, if you want to get involved, you're going to be rolling your non-fighting ability. So everyone says whether they're involved or not before anyone rolls. And the reason this is important is that, if everyone who rolls gets a success and the aliens don't, you ambush them. And if they get a success and no one who rolls gets a success, they ambush you. And then, whoever gets the highest success otherwise chooses their starting range. Okay. So who wants to get involved in this? And this is a straight NFA check. So you're going to be rolling 1d10, getting equal to or under your NFA.
I mean, I'm piloting, so I will definitely be involved in this.
Yeah. Also, you're a guaranteed no ambush roll, right? So with 10.
There is that.
Yeah. So this is... Sorry, go ahead.
I'm definitely also
okay.
involved.
And Leandro, whatever may make sense to you is something you can get involved in. Like, either you're on point or you're looking at a viewport or whatever it is. If you feel like fictionally you are helping to get things together, you can just say that you are getting involved.
Yeah, I think looking out through the viewport, I do want to get involved. Just want to see this role.
So,
and I think for fictional purposes, the dropship is festooned with gunships, so you got gun ports and stuff like that. So I mean, you could be on whatever gun emplacement makes sense, but you still use whatever your regular weapon is to do that. So.
Yeah. Okay. So I will roll dominance for the aliens.
Terry is looking out of every viewport he can reach, and now that he's high enough rank, no one can tell him to helmet down and stay in his seat.
Yeah.
So the aliens have rolled an outstanding success there. One, the worst result, but hey, it counts.
It's true. I got a 5.
I got a 6.
That's not great. Well, the 7.
So not a success, but you still have the highest success. So Terry, with your 6, you are going to set everyone up in range and maybe explain how this comes about. You're muted, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe not a huge surprise that Terry spots them first because he's just hyperactively like looking at every. He's probably just going like from turret or you know each you know trooper that you know just looking over everybody's shoulder, you know, tell them to you know stay sharp and so yeah, he's got the full view of what's around us and yeah, maybe shouts out that we've spotted them and yeah, I don't know, maybe Crestmere like is maybe he's like at Crestmere's shoulder shot. There they are, and like points, and like Crestmere like accidentally lets off a shot, just kind of wild, and that's the failure tipping off. So we don't totally get the drop on him.
Okay, so I'm guessing near. No prizes for the e-cannon people who like near all the time. Near all the time. Okay, so I'll put you in a cluster there around the dropship. So yeah, I think you know when you come in over this kind of warren of dry water channels that you described earlier, you know, you see a couple of you know quite large dogs, you know, kind of like African hunting dogs on steroids, you know, so they're quite large and vicious looking, but definitely pack animals. And they look up, you know, they are definitely noticing your arrival in this dropship, and they kind of scatter. You know, they run for cover, which is you know not something you would associate with just wild animals, right? They don't run in a pack away from you like they might a normal predator. They are definitely trying to break up your line of approach. Okay. So yeah, let's. So why don't we go around the table and see what you're going to do? I guess the aliens are going to try to kill you as normal. Fictionally speaking, I guess. I'll wait to strain my brain for that it works until I roll a success. So yeah. So why don't we again just go rank top to bottom for basic description of your combat action or your NFA action if you want to, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, so I'm flying the dropship, and so if they're scattering, then I'm gonna, you know, kind of do like a banked, kind of circle of the area to, you know, so the people can, and I say guns port, and get everybody, you know, kind of over on one side, and then just kind of like bank us in a curve and go around and see if we can, you know, take out some of these targets before they can get into cover where we can't get at them. Okay,
cool. Miter, what are you?
Slot my E-cannon into the, you know, whatever receptacles there to brace it, and yeah, just lay down fire.
Okay, cool. Puckett, how about Dietrich? Need I ask? Find a different gun port. That's the problem.
This is kind of clever. Gun ports. I thought we were going to be hanging out on the wings, hanging from suspension gear, which honestly I was kind of looking forward to. But yeah, they're trying to kill us, so I'm just going to try to kill them right back.
Leandro, how about Christmere?
Man, I would love to hang off some suspension gear. Maybe be like a target for them, but no, they're dogs, so that wouldn't be too hard. No, like I said, Crestmere is a follow the superiors kind of thing. So they will in their first engagement just do as they do. So all they have is like a simple slug rifle. So they probably will just be adding small numbers to them big numbers.
They all count in the end, right? So okay, so yeah, let's roll those FA checks and see what happens. That's what I like.
It's NFA for me because I'm.
Yeah, sorry, NFA for piloting. See, and I thought a 7 was good enough, right? But not. Almost. So the 2 8s go first, then the aliens with a 7, then the Andrew, and then Puckett last. Okay, so yeah, why don't you describe that? You do D10 kills with the dropship, right?
Yeah, I sure
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
I mean, I think any kills I get are more incidental, because the dropship's got front load, front firing guns and like fixed mounted guns, and they're not great for it's just like strafing along the ground, and I just get I get a few that way that zig when they should have zagged and stuff like that. But it's not that effective because I don't have a lot of fine motor control over it. But I do manage to, lead a couple of them enough that we can, that they're cut down. So let me see what we got here. 9 kills.
Maybe a couple taken out in the engine exhaust as well, give them a good blast.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if we're low enough down for that, then sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever. Just swept swept off, into a ditch or something by the exhaust, or just the amount of air we're displacing as we're roaring around here.
Yeah. Brian, how about Miter? Why don't you roll your kills and see how that goes?
Here we go. 50. So, yeah, I mean, I spotted them early, so I think it makes sense that I was able to kind of lay down fire in between the cover they're running for and them, and catch catch a bunch of them out in the open.
So then the aliens go next. So they inflict a kill upon both Dietrich and Christmer. Now you can mark that against the dropship if you want. That's your free armor tick if you wanted to. You could take it yourself and save that free armor tick for another time. The important thing there is that when you take a damage, you're going to heal 1 damage in between every encounter, so sometimes it's worth not doing your armor straight away. But hey, who knows? So that's up to you. And I think, they are, I think, if BD is taking the dropship a little bit low, for an extra good firing solution for you guys. A couple of them are leaping in, and maybe those gun ports are a little bit wide enough for their jaws. These snarling, powerful jaws to nip at arms or hands that are.
Well, how about? Hey, here's the thing. How about if their howls are sonic and messing us up that way, like they're barking or something like that?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if they're psychic attacks, although I don't want to say that precisely, because armor is going to protect you, right? Maybe
if they get close enough to you and they screech or howl, and that just makes your ears and nose start to bleed or something like that.
Then some subsonic hunting frequency that is useful here, but extra useful when you're killing humans, right? Cool. Yeah. Okay, so decide where you want to put that damage, whether you want to take it or not. As their special ability is flee, during their turn, they are going to. No, do they get to? Yes, they do. They get to, because it's not based on anything else other than their special ability, and they are going to push you all out to far range.
You should have taken tokens.
Yeah, a second token
kills,
for Miter. Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Jim. So yeah, they're super fast, right? They're running and they're spreading and they're just getting away from you. The dropship can only be in so many places in one go, and I guess you're killing everyone who's really nearby you, right? So okay, and then Leandro, it is Krestenmir's turn.
Yeah. So that free dropship, that armor, that doesn't affect. Does that affect the dropship, or that's just something I have?
No.
For
The dropship only goes down if I beat Jim's roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to
So
happen with that NAF. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, I think I'll use the free dropship armor to like tank that. I think what that looks like is like the psychic blast is about to hit, like is reverberating on the gun port and Crestmere with one gun holding one hand, the other hand they just reach up and like close like a window slit next to them, just being like, oh, who left that open. So there is one time Crestmere did not follow their spears as they did in that while everyone else was doing energy stuff. They brought their slug rifle, which can still shoot from far.
Yeah.
So I will deploy that. Let's see. It's been a while since I rolled on Roll20. So.
Nice. Shoot.
Ooh, that's a lot. Max total on that dice, yeah. So that's a 6. So that is 6 aliens.
Yeah, 6 aliens you take out.
Okay, I think they're like one shot each. Just like Crestmere is just like kind of like methodically, one hand closing the window, the other hand just bang, 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 bang.
Cool. And Puckett, unfortunately, that puts your E-cannon out of its D100 range, but still, I guess you're doing 1 kill, right?
You know, those dogs annoyed me. I was inclined to like them because that howling kind of reminded me of my mom is singing, but they done pissed me off now. So yeah, I'm just going to shoot one of them.
And is this like a single energy blast, or is this like a lot of long-range ineffective bursts that just happen to take out one guy?
One shot. I'm doing this to be mean.
that dog there. That dog there. Okay.
That's the one that pissed me off.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So yeah, now I guess you can see the upside. So Jim, remember that if you win, if you go higher than your opponent, you can always change range, right?
Yep.
So that'll be helpful for staying in combat. Otherwise, these dogs are just going to run away on you. So for the second round of combat, what's everyone doing?
I think this is where like we see BD, reach up to the panel, flip a little switch, throw a toggle that makes the missiles hot, and then just, presses something on the stick and we get the, whoosh, like, long range.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to the
I've got missiles, so yeah.
Okay, cool. And Brian, how about Miter?
Yeah, more or less the same. A few dials adjusted for the range and firing away.
Sure, your E-cannon is not completely ineffective at long range. You up that to D6.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Puckett, how about Dietrich? Praying that you get into close range, huh?
You were breaking up there.
So just checking what your action is for this turn.
I thought I'd read a book.
Up on the field manual.
The field manual to say what to do about these damn dogs.
I thought I might read something with some pretty words in it.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'd be reading up a manual on high explosives. But no, I'm going to shoot them sons bitches.
Okay. And just hope you get into a better range before you pull the trigger. Okay. And Leandro, how about you?
I think I'm gonna switch hands to the other gun and just make sure that the window sit on my other side is well and truly shut as well. And I was concerned when Sergeant Dietrich looked like they're about to pull out a manual and start reading in the middle of a firefight. But thankfully, my fears were allayed, so I'll just follow. I'll do as they do.
Yeah, I think he's just using it as a rest for the gun, right?
Yeah, he would use them for that.
Okay, so let's roll our attacks. Alien's trying to kill you as usual with a 5. Okay, Jim, you're rolling a 9. You're rolling hot tonight.
Did I mention that I have missiles?
You did. So why don't you roll your kills and finish up the encounter for us? 6
kills there. And that is the last little bit of stragglers who are still, who have not just disappeared into the gullies and stuff. Yeah, so, and, out they go. They're, blown up. And I'm going to make another kind of pass by. And then I think we got to, I think we're gonna land here and do a little bit of investigating, because we haven't actually, we like fought these things a little bit, but haven't actually gotten up close to them. So special studies group is almost certainly going to want one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to land the dropship. We'll have everybody, form a perimeter, and we're going to go looking for the most intact, busted up one of these things that we can find.
Sure. Okay. So why don't you make a why don't you make an NFA check? It's going to be a success, but let's see how good a success it is.
Yeah,
sure. See what you come up with.
That's a 3 under 10 for that.
Okay. So not outstanding. I think, I think anything that was shot with something other than the E-cannon, it might still be holding on, or maybe there's some wounded ones, right, that are still struggling, right? So relatively intact, and they are up close. You get a real sense for their scale, right? So they are, not quite horse-sized, but definitely pony-sized.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think their teeth look like there's definite signs of genetic interference, right? So these things are, adamantium kind of style, jagged, crushing teeth. So definitely signs that you're here to find.
All right. Well, this is not that these things are. Here's the other question: have we seen any other kind of wildlife at all on this planet? Any other kind of fauna or anything?
I mean, there's fauna, or at least there's signs of fauna. So there's other tracks, right? But in this, like the area that you've come into seems to be like dog central, right? So they may hunt out, but it like there's not like a savanna of large creatures that seems to be sustaining them.
Okay.
which is
Someone's feeding these things.
yeah. There's something
that's
else
my
going on.
that's my theory, is that someone is feeding these things. All right. So I think that yeah, I think we've got our specimen. We're gonna load that on the drop ship. And so I think we got to back into the drop ship to do more recon, to try and see if we can find, and this is going to be like some slow, low flying, looking for any kind of structures or entrances or anything like that.
Yeah.
And if this pass doesn't produce anything, then we're going to have to land and do it the hard way. But we'll do one last recon pass, maybe with some, do some like deep radar scans.
Yeah. Okay. How about Miter? When you're doing this boots on the ground examination of the battle scene, what are you up to, or what are you feeling like when you're looking at these dogs?
Yeah, I mean, mostly any trooper who looks like they're getting bored and isn't watching their area. He's yelling at them, telling them to stay sharp. They could come popping out of these holes at any moment. And but then internally, yeah, I mean, I think he's thinking like, I hope there's some way to flush them out, because going in is going to be a real pain in the ass.
I mean, when has going into cave complexes ever given you any trouble? I mean, almost never happens.
So yeah, definitely trying to spot any way that, something we could flush them out with, or collapse the caves to force them out, something like that. He's keeping an eye open, but yeah, with his luck, he's not hopeful.
Yeah, are you trying to figure something out with that?
I mean, he's looking for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So make an NFA check and see how that goes.
It's a 3.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder if you've gotten a good hit of those kind of I'm going to say subwoofer, but that would be a terrible pun. Those frequencies that affected you, a couple of troopers got sick out of it. It shook them a bit. So maybe there's something you could do to track them on that. I'm not going to apologize for that pun. That's a dad joke I'm proud of, damn it. Yeah, maybe there's something you can do to either interfere with that or to track them based on those frequencies. So yeah, maybe it'll take a bit of work, but we could call up your tech guys, right? Or maybe Trooper Crestmere knows exactly what that requires. Here's a dog whistle I made earlier.
Yeah, I'm full of all sorts of random knickknacks. Maybe I am. Who knows?
You're a Radio Shack worth of equipment there, huh?
Yeah, I think right now what Trooper Crestmere is doing is kind of like, that went better than expected. I'm just gonna sit here in front of this gun port and try to get as relaxed as possible, because I'm not always gonna be on the dropship. But that still went really well. Again, if I could have a dog whistle on me, but unless asked, I'm not gonna volunteer it.
Okay, and how about Dietrich? What's the time in between encounters like for him?
I'm wandering around trying to figure out how I can better kill these things. Kicking at them, seeing if there's a weak part or something squishy. Seeing if any part's better to shoot than another one.
Yeah, I mean, who knows with these things? They're pretty quick, right, for their size, and they seem, almost like attuned to your way of fighting. So I think they're liable to
I mean,
annoy
shooting a
you.
lot, trying to blow them all to hell.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how subtle the alien, a full burst from the E-cannon will cramp their style, right? Think you want to get a sense, like replay the encounter in your mind and see if you can get some kind of a tactical advantage for the next time you meet them?
Seems about right.
Okay.
I mean, this is what I'm good at.
Well, it's still an NFA check, because figuring out stuff is not killing stuff, even if it leads to it.
See, the whole figuring stuff out part, that's the part I might not be so good at.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think more power to the E-cannon. I think you just got to go through more ammo, and at least that will relieve your stress.
I do like killing things.
Okay, so let's play this encounter and then we can take a break. So I guess you're flying around looking for trouble. I guess is the only way to put it.
Yeah, like I said, low and slow with whatever instrument suite we got for doing sonar, radar scans or something like that to see if we can find, like I said, a big cavern opening or a cluster of them, or even like a building if there's one down there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you plenty of trouble. 7 tokens worth of trouble. Who wants to roll for this encounter? Okay. So let's check for dominance. Ooh. That's a lot of ones. Alien's got a 6. And, I'm going to regret this, but I'm going to bring you in close. So, yeah, I think you're flying along and taking a sweep, and you don't see anything. Well, it's not that you don't see anything. You see plenty of bones, big bones at the entrances to some of these caverns. But then, like, slightly above where you have been previously, you see like this really, type 27 is the sand up there. It's like this bleach powder white sands. And in the middle, you can see something that looks a bit like the tail fin of a dropship. And when you land there, set up a perimeter, investigate, and you can find like human remains, bone dry cadavers, what's left of them, chewed through armor, and a downed dropship. The tail number will have to go into your upstairs for some kind of database scan or whatever. But yeah, I think you're digging through that and trying to find any signs of what happens when they come out at you. So it's not an ambush, but they kind of have you where they want you. I don't want to say that you're out of the dropship, but I'll give you like a free chance to be out of the dropship or in the dropship or close enough to get aboard before they reach you. Right? So I'll leave that up to you. So let's get let's get actions from everyone. The aliens, as usual, are trying to kill you.
I order perimeter to protect the downed ship, and reach up and tap a brand new, like my major's badge, my major's pips that I have, and there's a flash and a hum, and a force field appears around me, and I'm activating my kinetic armor for this.
Cool. So tell us what that does, because we haven't seen that before.
Yeah, so this is a thing that I get as a major, which is kind of awesome. So let me pop it open here. Kinetic field armor officers the rank of major and above have skull pips on their insignia. This skull hosts a kinetic field armor transmitter, which allows the officer to avoid kills in any one encounter on a planet. They simply declare at the start of an encounter they are using their kinetic field armor, and they will be immune from any weapons that can be stopped with armor for that whole encounter.
Okay, cool.
And I pull out my brand new flamethrower because, it's hard to dodge just a gout of superheated plasma in the way that you can dodge, slug rounds or even, energy beams coming at you. And I'm gonna.
Okay. So do you think that counts as a change weapon action? Or I know you usually start with a pistol, but
I guess I had thought that you could start with whatever weapon that you went into the fight with. But yeah, so if I need to change weapons, I'll change weapons. That's what I'm gonna do is change weapons, yeah.
I guess usually we ask before every encounter before we roll, so you don't know what range you're going to be at.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So then I would normally, typically I've got my sidearm, ready to go. And you know what? You probably should have asked us if we were staying in the dropship or out of it before we rolled as well.
So I'm giving you the option just because of fictionally, but you can just flat declare that you're in the dropship or not.
So I'm staying out of the dropship for this. Okay. I'm tapping the pips to activate my armor, and I'm holstering my sidearm and pulling out my flamethrower.
How about Miter? What are you doing?
I'm just going to be using my E-cannon because I'm hoping I can move off from the ship and lay down fire, covering fire from there as the fight goes on.
Okay, and how about Dietrich?
I need to roll NFA to change range, correct?
Yes.
And that takes up my action for the turn?
Yeah, so changing range on purpose is, but remember, you've seen their special ability, and that is that they will push you out every turn automatically. So there's a possibility that you could be in near range anyway when it comes to your turn. So they do that on their turn automatically. There's no, they just like running away.
And if you hit, you can change ranges automatically.
Yeah, so if you
can change it for
roll a
free
success and beat them on the roll, you can change your range anyway.
I just pasted that into the chat. That roll.
Yeah, I knew about switching to hand. Okay, I will just be shooting at them then.
Okay, cool. And Leandro.
Can I toss a grenade at them?
Okay. No, I mean, you have not read Captain Miter's missive on the evils of grenades, but hey,
No, I absolutely have not. I just keep hearing stories about numbers.
You're going to get to hear it in person.
Oh, dear.
So before we roll, Jim, you're not in the dropship, right?
I'm not in the dropship.
Is anyone else in the dropship, or are you all outside?
BD ordered us to set a perimeter.
Okay, cool. So basically, the dropship is essentially not going to
It's
be
buttoned
affected.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then I was going to get the awkward question of what happens if we're not rolling for the dropship. But anyway, we can ignore that problem. The dropship is there to be run to and started up and whatever if needs be. Okay, so yeah, let's roll. So if you're aye, that was almost a 6, but not good enough. So, okay, cool. So, Jim, you get to go first. I guess you get to get your flamethrower out without any problem.
Yeah. This is something new I got as a major. So my I've got a like around the front holster right here for my sidearm, and shunk, it goes into that, and I reach around behind my back, and this thing comes out, and I flick I kind of like the idea that it's one of those things where it's got like a little nozzle underneath.
Yeah.
And I flick a switch, and that little blue flame pops up, and now we know, I pull the trigger, it's gonna, jet some kind of like hyper flammable, gelatinized liquid at them that is gonna like catch them on fire and keep them on fire until they can get it off. So.
Okay. Cool. And Brian, you got to go next.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is much too close for the Kinetic to be terribly effective. I think, most of the energy released, flies past them and destroys a lot of like rocks and sand behind them. But the one right in the center of the blast gets blasted away.
Okay, cool. So it's 1 kill, and you can, if you want to change range.
I guess not, because they're
going to push you anyway. But it's okay. Leandro Crestmere.
Yeah, so I've got these grenades. I've read a manual. I don't know if I've read the manual, but it's gonna be textbook. Arm them, underhand toss since they're quite nearby. Just make sure it's not on the downed dropship. And okay, maybe I shouldn't have tossed it like that. But that's still 2 kills.
You kill 2 people, and you inflict a kill on Sergeant Dietrich because he failed his roll.
Oh, Jesus.
Dietrich, why don't you describe that and take the hit?
What the actual fuck is wrong with you, Crestmere? Did your parents not beat you enough when you were a child? You do not throw grenades when you are danger close, you shithead. I'm going to wipe some muck off of my armor. We are going to have words when this is over, Crestmere.
Yes, sir. As I move range away from Sergeant Dietrich.
I guess that must be what put Sergeant Dietrich off, the grenade going off in his face, because we've never seen him fail to kill aliens before. Okay. Anything else you want to add to that, Puckett?
Sorry about that. I had muted again. No, I think that's sufficient for the moment.
Okay. And they will, in their usual hit and run approach, they will push you all out to near range. Where will I put the dropship? I'm going to leave it with the majority of the group, just so it's not, it's not obviously not changing range. If you're staying in one place, it's kind of with you more or less fictionally. Okay, I think that's the best solution to that problem. Okay, so yeah, let's get some more declarations on the next round of combat. BD has his flamethrower out now.
Yeah, and frustrated that they've all, like they were in on us, pulled the flamethrower out, and then suddenly they're all back out, like, running away, darting around and stuff. But I'm gonna lay down some flame and see if I can, get them as best I can.
Yeah. And Miter, I guess holding fire there has paid off for you. You're in this sweet spot, right?
Yeah, and I guess I'm going to shout to everyone, let's take them out while they're on the surface before they go crawling back into their holes. Everyone, after them.
Okay.
And it's firing and planning on moving up so that they stay. They don't just run off.
Okay. And Dietrich, open up, huh?
This is my favorite thing.
How about Kresimir?
Yeah, I'm a bit chastened by that grenade kerfuffle, so I will just stick to the rifle.
Stick to the rifle. Okay, so the aliens are going to try to kill you. And no, they're not going to. Okay, so we have Miter going on an 8.
All right.
68.
Yeah. So, just a sweeping, blast from the cannon, and against all his instincts, he will then run forward to make sure they can't get away.
You are playing the game.
Leading by example.
Yeah. Cool. Next up, we have. Oh my goodness! It is Dietrich with a 1. Warming up. That's what Dietrich is doing.
And I will also move forward as I shoot them sumbitches. Carefully checking to make sure that Kresimir has his weapon pointed in the proper direction, which is not in mine.
I mean, those grenades are like rugby footballs, right? They can bounce anywhere. That's the problem. Okay, so once you move yourself forward, and then we have the aliens go next with their fail of 8. And they're going to move everyone back 1. And they are hurting right under this fusillade of fire. I'm going to leave you at near range pocket for Dietrich, assuming you move forward and then they move you back, right?
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
I am following Captain Miter's lead because, unlike Kresimir, Captain Miter seems to have a clue about what the hell he is doing.
You knew this was the case when he took out the E-cannon, right? Festooned with upgrades.
The E-cannon for me does inspire a certain amount of trust.
Yeah. The dogs are yipping and circling, and it's like you have claimed their trophies from their kill, and they're not going to leave this up without a fight. But again, they're hurting, so they are being a bit cautious. So why don't we get a quick description from BD and then Kresimir for your 9s.
Yeah, I'm just getting frustrated here. here, and I say, it's not going to do you any good this far out, trooper. Slug rifles, and sling the. I'm going to switch weapons to my trusty, regular standard trooper rifle that I still carry from back when I was a trooper.
I look at the slug rifle already in my hand and just go, yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. As a player, I thought you were using the E-cannon before. Okay, cool.
I'm not allowed to have an E-cannon.
Right. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yet. It's Miter that does that. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the hell Crestmere would do with an E-cannon at this point?
Yeah, there we go.
I'm tempted to leave him with a sharp stick.
Although I imagine that Dietrich's first memo brigade-wide will be every trooper gets an E-cannon. I mean, how can that not be the best solution to all of our problems?
Yeah, but I just look at Crestmere and I'm like, slug rifles and, concentrate fire, trooper.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I guess that's the next turn's action for BD, right? To switch to slug rifle? Okay. How about Crestmere? Keep shooting?
Yeah, I don't think I got anything from the previous round because ears a bit ringing, both from the grenade and from Sergeant Dietrich bollocking me, so to speak.
So remember that Sergeant Dietrich is higher than you, higher ranked than you.
Yeah, I was.
And if you're really annoyed by that,
I mean, if you're really annoyed by anyone, you can get them out of this shooting match that they've ended up in.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I felt bad that they hadn't hit anything besides a single city dog yet. So
feel bad for me because there's a chance I end up finishing this fight by myself. You guys get pushed out of range, and Dietrich is removed. It would be a dramatic way for this to go.
This would not be the first time that this has happened to Miter.
No, I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of that possibility because it happened to me before. Yes.
Yeah. on the outer hull of your spaceship, no less. That was exciting stuff. Okay. Dietrich, I presume you and Miter are just rinsing and repeating, running through your ammo like there's no tomorrow.
Well, you're only running through it if you didn't bring enough.
Okay, so let's roll them bones. Okay, so everyone rolls a 4. Oh, but not Crestmere. So yeah, these aliens are killing you all with their 5. So yeah, they are coming in and they are yeah, they're coming in, and with those giant jaws, they're just picking up troopers by the leg or the arms, and they're just shaking them, right? And a couple of nameless troopers with red shirts on or no last names, get shaken off. I think you can hear the popping of the joints as they just shake them and crack through the armor, and that's kind of pretty much what happens to the rest of you. Although with successes, at least you get to take a little bit of revenge on them. So let's go top to bottom as you roll them, and that is fair because there's 3 of you and 3 tokens left. Okay, so BD. Why don't you roll your kills? Sorry, you're not shooting, are you? You are.
I'm not. I'm just
swapping
switching weapons.
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry. So yeah, why don't you describe how that happens?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I carefully deactivate the pilot flame for the weapon, throw the switch that closes the valve that actually sends a liquid. Basically, like, I turn the safety back on the flamethrower before I stow it. I actually take that extra second to do that because that's by the book. That's per regulations. When you stow a flamethrower, it should not be in active fire mode. Put that back, pull out the slug rifle and sight down, sight down it. But I suspect by the time I do, there won't be any aliens left.
Okay, and Dietrich, roll your kills, and I'll take care of an alien counter for you.
When do the aliens change our range?
Sorry, they change your range now, right? So, yeah, sorry, thanks. So Crestmere and BD are off the map, and you are all at long range, far range, sorry, for that.
And I will continue to move forward.
So you're rolling your kills at far range, or you're doing one kill, right?
I moved forward with the success of the last roll.
Yeah, and they are pushing. So they're going first with their 5.
Okay.
So they're pushing you out during their turn.
So in that case, it's just one kill.
Just one, yeah, and then you can move forward in your next.
You only get the free movement if
you beat them, yeah.
on the roll.
Yeah.
So we're stuck.
Okay, so we're
this
far
is
range now.
Yeah.
We're far.
Okay.
And Miter, you are rolling d6, right? For your kills at long range, at far range. Sorry.
Sounds right. Yes, d6.
Three. Okay, that is one token left. Dietrich and Miter to fight it out amongst themselves. So I guess it could be any number between 1 and 100 aliens left at this stage. And yeah, I guess they see weakness, right? Even though you're the guys with the big guns, they've killed a few troopers and separated you from the rest of the squad. So they are sensing weakness for sure, and they're going to try to kill you. So yeah, I guess you're going to try to kill them first, right?
That's the plan.
Okay, so roll FA, and I will roll to attack. A 6. I see a 2 from you, Pocket. Is that your roll for this round?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So on a 6, they inflict kills on both of you.
I've got to burn my armor.
Okay.
God, do I want to use combat meds here? Because they're gonna push us away as well. They're gonna get.
You're gonna push you out.
Use those drugs. Use those drugs.
Use those drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. Yeah. No, they still beat me.
Okay. So they inflict kills on you both and dump you out of the encounter. So they come in and they like barrel into you, and they are chewing. I think what happens maybe is they like chew at your suit's life support, and a kind of blast of air or stuff leaves you in kind of danger of just dying regardless of them, but maybe it kind of scares them off momentarily, right? So you're losing the encounter, and I'm taking that token back because those guys are now veteran dogs. Okay, and I think we should take a break. And come back with some kind of a regrouping out in the desert, right? So we say 10 minutes or 12 minutes suit you guys best? Yeah, so let's say come back for 10 to the hour.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, and we are back. Yeah, let's get some regrouping for the team after that stinging defeat. I think maybe as last man out, Miter is probably the. Do you think he's the person they rally around, or is he the last one to arrive?
I missed that. What is the?
Do you think Miter is the last one to leave that battlefield? So do you think he is the one they rally around, or is he the last one to arrive wherever they are gathered?
Well, he's the last one to arrive because he's extremely nauseous because he took his combat drugs, which do not agree with him at all. So he's walking slowly to try to keep everything down. So he kind of takes a few steps and then pauses, swallows, and then continues. And I think when he's
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say when he gets there, he's looking for Crestmere.
I think Crestmere is on guard duty, so they may be the first person. And they just kind of like just salute. It's like, sir.
Yeah, he like starts to speak and then just like stops, and you're just left there standing there while he like closes his eyes and like takes a deep breath. Can I see your field manual, Trooper?
Yes, sir. I could poke around. I think I put it out from my back pocket.
Grabs it out of your hand and then flips to the section on proper use of grenades and just proceeds to rip it out of the book. And I think he has a copy tucked somewhere that he just pulls out and like kind of slides in between the pages and just says, grenades are for flushing enemy. And he like kind of points at like these holes that these, dogs have disappeared into. Flushing them out of positions, not for combat at close range, especially when your entire unit is there with you. I don't expect I'm going to have to explain this to you again. Read the rest as soon as you have time, and then just like walks away.
Yes, sir. Sir. Major BD said you go see him when you came short. But actually, no. I think it's it. Major BD told me to tell you to come strolling over to him as soon as you get back here. He was quite confident you'd be back soon, sir.
Walks away.
So what's the scene in your makeshift camp, Dietrich? How have you organized your people?
I'm looking for Crestmere.
Did you not put him on sentry duty, or is he running from you?
I ain't been able to find that little sumbitch. Don't know where he is, but when I do find him, there will be words.
Do you think I'm on sentry duty? I'm in the perimeter.
Then I think you are standing there, probably as far away from where you think I am as possible, and you see me walking up to you, peeling my shattered armor off and picking shrapnel out of my arms. Crestmere.
Sergeant Dietrich, sir.
I'm just going to grab you by the ear, and we're going to walk out of sight. like around a hill, behind a rock, someplace where there's absolutely no way anybody can see you.
I think I'm staying silent, trying to make my face look blank, but I just feel like I'm simpering.
Do you know what my job is, Crestmere?
To serve in military, sir?
I'm going to smack you upside the head.
I'm sorry,
Crestmere,
that was a yes or no question, sir. I shouldn't have answered otherwise.
you did go through basic, did you not?
Yes, sir.
Then you should know that a sergeant's job is to keep the soldiers alive. Now, BD, being the gracious and understanding leader that he is, has also allowed me to kill many, many things in his name. But my job is keeping you alive long enough that you can learn how to kill things efficiently so that you too may add to BD's kill count. It is difficult for me to do that when you are throwing grenades at me. It is difficult for me to do that when I no longer have armor because of the aforementioned grenades. Are you beginning to understand why I am upset, Crestmere?
Yes, sir. Not only beginning, but well on my way to progressing to an understanding, sir.
You used a lot of fancy words there, so I'm just going to assume that that's good. Crestmere, I have yet to lose a soldier. And although Lord knows I would not be sad if you were the first, it would look bad on my record. I do not want BD to have to requisition some other grunt that I have to keep alive until they can learn how to kill to increase BD's kill count. Do you understand what I am saying, Crestmere?
Yes, sir. We are here to add to Major BD's kill count and serve under their pressure, sir.
Your job is to add to BD's kill count and not kill anyone higher rank in the process. My job is to keep you alive so you can add to BD's kill count, which is difficult to do when you are trying to kill me. So, I'm going to trust that this discussion has helped you see the error of your ways, and that I will not ever have to mention to you that you should not throw grenades in the direction of people. Remember, weapons forward, weapons toward enemy, not toward people wearing the same uniform.
Yes, sir. I'll remember, sir. Captain Miter came to camp, sir. He gave me the manual on the proper use of grenades, sir. So it won't happen again, sir.
And I'm just going to kind of clap you on the shoulder a little bit. Say, good. I'm glad we had this discussion.
Me too, sir.
Carry on. Go. What is it you were doing when I found you? Who told you to do it?
I was on guard duty, sir. It was what's her name? I could just throw out. Borowski? Yeah, there we go. We'll just use him again. But Borowski told me to be on guard, sir, in case them critters came about again.
Very well. Just remember, weapons toward enemy. I'm sure you'll do better next time.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to wander off, still pulling shrapnel out.
How about BD? What's he up to?
We are digging out that. I am going to be like, as soon as we have dug out that dropship enough that I can get into it, I'm going to get in there and see if there's any evidence of what the mission was, what happened. Like, we weren't briefed that there were any divisions here before. So I want to check and, if there's anything in there that might be of use or interest to my friends in special services. And the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go find Crestmere.
Okay. You're a popular guy, Crestmere.
Trooper. Come with me. We get there, and I've got another sergeant who has a holovid camera, and I point at the side of the dropship that's mostly dug out, and I hand Crestmere a shovel, and I say, "Take your helmet off, throw a couple of shovels of dirt, but face towards the camera and smile. Do you understand?"
Yes, sir. I think I'll take a helmet off. Yeah. Oh, why did I make him incredibly pretty? Yes, Crestmere does. When they take...
Okay. Leandro, you made him incredibly pretty for exactly this reason. So, yeah. So let's just dispense with the coyness here.
The publicity material is...
Yes.
And NFA technically covers looking pretty on camera, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I guess it would. Sure. Yeah.
So why don't you roll NFA and let's see how much fan mail you get next week.
Okay. Let's see. Well, that's a 3. So
that's a
Success.
Success. Just tell me where the camera is. I think you mean.
Oh yeah, like Crestmere is not only just pretty, but really photogenic. They know their angles. As he's like just digging.
Yeah, and so like couple of shots of it looks like he's the trooper that dug it up, and then like inside a shot of him like with a flashlight, shining it across the interior of the darkened dropship and stuff like that, and probably even another one with him like leaning on the corpse of one of the killed aliens. So just some propaganda shots while we're here, and I've got him.
So, Leandro, is the fan club going to be called the Crestmoors or the Crestfallen?
Oh my gosh. Crestfallen implies like they don't have a chance. I don't think the army wants that. They should always have at least the idea that they have a chance. So it's got to be the
I think they're the Crestmeyers. That's or the Crestmeisters maybe.
Oh god.
There are rival fan clubs, obviously.
Oh, okay.
In train. Okay. So, why don't you make a roll, Jim, to NFA check to see what you can garner from this?
Yeah, sure. That is another 3.
Okay. This is this tail number is from the 229, your favorite other brigade. Mm-hmm. It's just a regular dropship, nothing special about it.
Okay.
Like those special suffix letters or whatever don't mean anything to you. But yeah, it's definitely a 229 dropship.
All right. So I'm going to so I'll get Miter to fill out the paperwork, that we found it, call it in so that they can, come with a evac hauler, an orbital hauler to pull it out of the sand and recover it and all that kind of stuff. any dog tags that we find on any of the bodies, we're gonna, stow them, requisition them as, as necessary. And I think at this point, just flying around is not getting us anything. So I think we've got to follow them back into the holes that they crawled down at this point.
Sure.
Sergeant Dietrich.
Captain, sir. Major, sir.
So I think I've called this is just me talking to you. Like I find you wherever drills you're conducting and just come up to you. It's been rough sledding tactically, Sergeant. Give me your assessment of how we can more effectively deal with these critters.
Problem is that they keep pushing us away, sir. It's pulling us out of range. Save advancing and keeping that pressure on, sir. I don't know a better way.
All right. Well, and I sigh, and I say, I know how fond you are of, what's the name of your e-cannon?
Betsy, sir.
Sorry, player asking you as a player what the name of your
Betsy.
e-cannon is. Okay, so, sure. So I know how fond you are of Betsy, Sergeant, but it may be time to issue orders that we all are going to use weapons that are effective at extreme range.
Yes, sir.
And that's going to include me. You know that I've wanted a chance to try out this flamethrower, but I don't think I'm going to get that opportunity. We'll have plenty more opportunities, Sergeant. You've laid down plenty of kills today, but we're going to be continuing on foot, and that means we've got to be effective.
But, sir, you have given me a hell of a present today, because now I get to try my rocket pods, sir.
I like the way you think, Sergeant. Carry on.
Yes, sir.
So, what primary weapon are people switching to for this next encounter?
I'm going to have a slug rifle.
Same.
My e-cannon is still my most effective and long range. So.
Okay, and the rocket pod for Dietrich, right?
I am just double checking something really quickly. The sad thing is, as much as I really want to try out the rocket pod, it is useless at medium range.
It's 0 kills, yeah.
Um,
So going back to slug rifle, are you?
Feel like it. And I just pick it up and look at it, and it's like, kick it, punch it a couple times, like just kind of trying to knock some of the dirt out of it, just to see if it still works, because it's been so long since I broke it out.
Yeah, I mean, apart from a test fire after basic, but I doubt it's seen much use.
I'll probably actually go out to whatever passes for a range and, put a few slugs down and see what, just to zero it in a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so, approaching these caves, right? And I think you see one of these giant skeletons of a kill. There's obviously it's been torn apart, so maybe you can't really tell what it is. It has a big skull and a big rib cage, and that's about it. It could be anything, but looks maybe subterranean, maybe under the sand. Something that moves through that. And that's how they get their calories when they're not eating troopers. So, who wants to roll for this encounter? Yeah. Okay, let's test for dominance. E6. Okay. And am I seeing a 4 and a 4 and a 4 again? Okay. Well, welcome to close range. Because I hate freedom and troopers.
Oh, and I need to heal.
Yeah, so in between encounters, so between this one and the last one, you will have healed one of your damage. So if you're a mess, you're now fine. If you were crippled, you're now a mess.
I had kinetic armor.
Yeah, no damage to you in the last encounter. Okay, cool. I think when you're getting in close, right? Things are going dark, and maybe you're lighting up, and you see like a humanoid shape just down at a turning. Definitely moving like a human, although like very like not wearing armor, maybe not even wearing clothes, very thin, spindly, and like keeping away from you, right? And maybe that's what draws you into close range, right? Something that that catches your interest and brings you into their close range. So yeah, the howling inside these caverns is definitely hitting you, and I think maybe Miter's work earlier has like adjusted the headsets on everyone's helmets to mean that it's merely jarring and not vomit inducing, but it still chills you to the bones. So the aliens are going to try to kill you. Surprise, surprise. What is everyone else trying?
This close, I mean, like I'm not shooting stuff with the slug rifle. I'm bayoneting and bashing stuff with the stock.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget that you probably have a power blade, right? Don't you?
I can switch to it for free.
Yeah.
But I can't switch back to my slug rifle for free. So
you're going to get pushed out. So
I know I'm going to get pushed out.
Yeah.
If I weren't getting pushed out, I might do that. But we've learned it. I feel like I'm smart enough that we've learned at least that much. So.
Okay. And Miter, you stuck with your trusty cannon. So yeah.
Yes.
And Dietrich, you were convinced to switch to your slug rifle, which I guess is not too bad, but still.
It ain't Betsy, but I'll put a few rounds down and see if I can use this thing effectively still. I'm used to more area of effect and, well, mass destruction.
Yeah. And Crestmere.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson. As close as we are.
I mean, he did say it was for clearing out caverns, right? I mean,
that is true. This is a cavern. This is objectively a cavern. I'm just scared to do this, to toss this grenade now. I think I'll leave it for later.
You're probably wise. I mean, I don't know what's scarier at this point: Captain Miter and Sergeant Dietrich killing you, or the aliens killing you. Okay, so let's.
That crestfallen phantom may come sooner than expected.
Yeah. Let's check those attack dice. So, we have a 1 for the aliens, a 10 for Miter, 7 for Christmere, 4 for BD, and a 1 for Dietrich. Okay, so BD, you get to go first.
Yeah, I think they're kind of swarming around us, coming at us, and there's one of them that jumps at me, and I just expertly turn and like just bash the side of its head in with the stout stock of my like I said, my slug rifle I've carried since my trooper days. Still, but still, of course, looks like it's just out of the factory because of how obsessively I clean in. But this now it's got the brains of one of these aliens all over it. So
yeah,
I get a single kill for that.
Okay, cool. And I'm guessing you're not going to change range for that.
I'm not going to change range for that. So there's my no, I'm not going to change range because they're going to push me back to medium anyways. So no, I'm not going to change.
Everyone else takes a kill from the aliens. In close, these jaws are pretty terrifying. They're cracking you open like lobster shells. And troopers are tasty on the inside.
You're gonna let people describe their misses.
So first, let's get a hit description from Dietrich for 1 kill.
Oh, that's right, because he made it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's up close and personal. I literally just shoved this slug rifle in this sumbitch's mouth and pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to open your jaws and try to bite me? Here, bite this.
eat this, sucker. Cool. Okay. And then let us get a description from Christmere and then go to Miter.
Yeah, I think it's just that bit dark, too dark to like really just hit anything. But yeah, Claw comes in, and I think Dietrich gets like, they get like a very nice scar across the wound. It's a small one, maybe on the cheek here. Who knows? That'll become something in the future. But yeah, I think that's what kind of like makes him like draw back.
Like the dog gets its giant jaws around your head inside your helmet, and you hear like a crack, and like the armored plate, sinks into your cheek, cutting a relatively shallow cut, but still, it feels pretty nasty. Cool. Okay, and Miter.
Yeah, I mean, Miter's actually pretty good in like close-up hand-to-hand combat, but he's just refusing to, holster that E-cannon because he knows that'll just waste time. So, yeah, he's trying to like swing on them and like get them in their sights, but they're just getting inside his reach because he's just carrying this huge bulky E-cannon. But he's taking his licks and he's like, yeah, now run away, you cowards. And then it's my turn.
And I think you find yourselves in a larger cavern, maybe one with some water. It's like a basin cavern with maybe a foot of water at the bottom of it, which is giving you a bit better range. And they're circling around the outside of it, kind of all of a sudden wondering how they can best approach. So you're all at near range. Time to open up, huh? Okay, so I guess unless anyone is doing anything different, we can roll our dice.
Well, I mean, this is now we can sight down the rifle and start popping shots off at stuff since they're moved away.
Just waiting on Dietrich's.
So, a quick question for you. Using the weakness, can I use that when a kill is being inflicted, or do I have to announce that?
At any time. So if you see your roll and you don't like it, you just say, you like pull the ripcord, and say you're using a weakness or a strength, Either way, you can use it at any point.
Gotcha. Okay. How did the aliens roll?
They rolled a 6.
So that's a success.
Yeah.
Crap.
So you can use a strength after you've rolled.
Yeah. So it's a complete get a jail card. So
Okay.
get a jail
Oh,
free
but the
card.
thing is, with the next kill, Dietrich's dead.
Okay.
So here's basically what I'm saying is, can I roll, and then if I
Yes.
roll higher than the alien,
Exactly.
get that kill in, and then pull the ripcord?
So you can do either way. You can
If you roll higher, you won't take a kill.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
only take a kill if you succeed.
Well, there you go. You rolled a 7, which is a success, and higher than them, so you're safe for this round.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know we've seen it in the past where someone has rolled, used it, and then triggered the weakness or the strength immediately afterwards.
Gotcha.
So any timing is fine.
Yeah, and you see, that's what I was asking about, like the timing of it, when it has to be invoked, etc.
Yeah, your 7 or your 8 is your perfect result there because you just kill them and laugh in their faces.
You kill them, move in for free, and then they push you back out to New York.
Yeah, exactly. So it's perfect, really. And let us start with you then. You and Miter got the same roll, but let's start with Dietrich.
Sorry about that, wrong window.
Oh.
This is one of the reasons why I have an issue with. So there's 2 kills. And what you're seeing this time around is uncharacteristic fire discipline for Dietrich, in that Dietrich is just actually demonstrating fire discipline, making sure that rounds count. It's something that probably no one has seen from him, perhaps ever.
Aiming, pulling the trigger once, moving on. It's refreshing. So I'll move you into close range until they get their go, just to keep everything clear. If that's all right.
Yep, I am
Okay.
moving forward until they knock me back.
Yeah, and Miter. Here's where you open up with the E-cannon, huh?
Yes, we do. For 82.
No such fire discipline here.
Yeah, I mean, well, when the E-cannon's at its best, you lay back and you let the E-cannon do the work, It makes it easy. And yeah, I'll go ahead and he's moving up as well. And
you know what? Like when the E-cannon lights up, you can kind of see the reflection of the water kind of lights up the whole cavern, and like on the top of it, just above kind of any kind of pathway that's around the edge, you can see eagle insignia. So like something taken from a dropship or a suit of armor, or the lapel pin of a major. You can see like they have taken trophies of whoever has been here before. So that was 2 guys. The aliens get to go on a 6. Sorry, and I will remove a token for Miter. Down to 3. BD and Cressmere, you get hit. And I think, it is, maybe the ones out there are easy to keep track of, and you can see them getting blasted by Miter, but then like one comes out of the water near you, and just latches onto your foot or something, and just like flings you across the cavern, back where you came from. So you both take a kill.
And I'm a mess now. That rattled me. I get banged around inside my suit, I think.
Yeah.
I'm invoking armor for this.
Okay.
So I just land on my armor. I think I'll be back on my feet, but I'm getting up close to where the major is.
Okay, cool. And ED next, success on a 1.
Yeah, I come up and, this is like 3-shot bursts at range. I've actually got sights on this. I'm really good at, I practice regularly at the range, unlike Dietrich with my slug rifle, and I have kept my sharpshooter certification. So just not the carnage that a e-cannon can inflict, but still. What do we got here? 9 kills.
I am. Not bad with the slug rifle.
Yep, true.
And lastly, Krasnir, a miss on a 7.
Yeah. Can I invoke a strength here now so I can change it, or is it too late?
You absolutely can. You can do it anytime it's an interrupt.
Anytime. So
Okay. Just so we can take out this last token.
So there's 2 left, but you're going to take them all out with a strength.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. This is like a flashback of some sort.
Yeah.
Right.
So give us a quick flashback to explain what you're going to do in the present, right?
Here's the other thing that, since it's Leandro's first time playing, that I think we should mention, and if we want to retcon it, we can totally do that, which is a strength takes out all of the remaining tokens. So if you were to use it just before Donna said, and everybody takes a kill, like that would that would nuke all 3 tokens. I'd erase the kills that I got, which I'm fine with. That's totally cool, no problem. You wouldn't have to take that hit to your armor, and you end the encounter. It gets rid of all 3.
Okay.
Because it's a timing thing that can take a couple of sessions to pick up before you understand exactly how it all works and stuff.
So like if you realize, oh, this would have killed me or whatever, you just rewind to say, I do it at the optimal point in time. Like there's no dice rolled really to affect the outcome in between. So it's no harm, no foul, to be honest. So if you do it like right before the aliens act, if they don't kill you or Jim's character, and you wipe the last 3 tokens.
Okay.
You also get the most effect when you do it at the beginning of combat, because you just basically end the encounter instantly.
Okay.
And we still haven't seen that newly leveled up enemy.
Oh, is that a thing? I thought that was a joke.
That was a joke, but now it's a thing, apparently.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, it's, I guess, bang for your buck, right? Obviously, at the start of the encounter, you get rid of the most tokens, but then, like you're saying, the rules can, like, you can get into a lot of trouble before you're really dead. So save your strengths for when you need them, right?
Yeah.
But it's totally cool to use it right now. But just I mean, we can retcon and say you used it before the aliens hit you.
Yeah.
Or hit anybody. So
which saves your armor, right?
Which also saves me getting hit.
Which also saves Speedy from getting.
I'm pro. I don't get the kills, but I don't get the hit either. So.
Yeah, no, I don't want to take away how many kills you killed more in that one roll than I think I did this entire session, which is fab. Which I'm okay for. I'm okay with that. No, I think I'll save it. I think I'm still just not used to the pacing of this game. I'm just not sure. I'm looking at the time, like, are we fitting another encounter before we?
Yeah,
okay.
we should do, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I think I'll save it then.
Okay.
Because you also if you take out the last token on a planet, you get a shot at a promotion, I think, right? Is that
no? It's just a shiny medal.
Oh, you get a medal. That's right. You get a special medal if you take out the last token on a planet. Yeah.
And I'm keeping track of those on the leaderboard along with kills. So this is vitally important. Okay. So you're not using strength. Leave it as is. You're taking that hit on the armor. Okay. So yeah, next round. What are people doing?
Keep shooting with that slug rifle at long range.
Okay.
See if I can take a few out before they retreat into their little holes, and we got to go deeper to flush them out.
Okay. Miter, say rinse and repeat. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Dietrich, need I ask?
If I'm breathing, I'm killing.
Okay. And Kresimir.
Yeah. Like, no pain, no gain. Just can keep doing as they do.
Okay, cool. So like for both Dietrich and Kresimir, Dietrich, because he's at the brink, like we just discussed, any point you want to use strength or a weakness to win or to get out of dodge, just holler. Okay, so alien's trying to kill you. Alien's got a 5. Okay, so I think that'll be good enough. Dietrich gets a 7, and then Miter gets a 6. So that'll save BD and Kresimir from a world of hurt. So Dietrich, why don't you roll your kills and describe how it goes?
Again, I am carefully moving forward using fire discipline. 1 shot, 1 kill. Surprised I remember how to do that. Usually it's 1 shot, 80 kills.
This is usually the advice you give to the rookies, right? Just mark your targets, squeeze one off, move on.
Listen, how can I expect them to do what I tell them to if they do not see me doing this? Do as I do, not just as I say.
This is a teachable moment, when Dietrich puts down the e-cannon that has, hushed the entire brigade with its effectiveness. To squeeze a couple of off on the range. Miter.
Yeah, I think Dietrich is also just like used to using the e-cannon, so he knows like exactly the kind of like hurting fire he wants everyone else to be doing for him, so he can blast him with the e-cannon, and so he knows exactly how to set Miter up. And yeah, they're just clumped together and blast them.
That is the final token in the encounter. When we get some flavor from BD and then Kresimir.
Report in, sound off. We make sure we've got all of our bodies and stuff like that. Eyes on where we saw that humanoid. And Kresimir, I want you to keep your eyes on that opening there. Anything appears in it, you light it up. You see anything, you holler right away. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Walk up to Dietrich and kind of like punch him in the shoulder and say, "That wasn't so bad, was it, Sergeant?" Just like in basic.
I will defer to your judgment, sir.
Nod, and walk over to Miter. And did you get a glimpse of whatever that was?
I mean, only a glimpse.
Well, all right. So I want you to make sure that you are ready with and I point at, you know what? I think I point at that other sergeant that's got the hollow camera. And I say, Sergeant Spudmeyer here is not going to have a weapon in our next encounter. His weapon is going to be information. You're joined at the hip to him. You're going to make sure that whatever pictures he takes, make it back to the ship. Understood? Oh, sorry, Captain Miner, that's you I'm talking to.
Okay. All right. That'll be
These
my priority.
things these things didn't get here on their own. They didn't get to be this big, this vicious, and this good at tearing Marines apart, all by chewing on sand rats. So we're going to see if we can get to the bottom of this. And to do that, we're going to, if whatever pictures we can take of that, we're going to bring it back and give it to our friends at Special Services.
Yes, sir.
All right. Lights on, everybody. We've done spelunking before. We're going to do it again.
Okay.
Off we go.
So
Deeper in.
deeper. Okay. So yeah, need I ask who is rolling for dominance? The usual crowd. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how this one goes. No. So just shy of an ambush with that roll, but still you get to choose. Who is choosing? Brian, you're choosing what range you're all at.
We will be at close. Not letting these guys run off on us. Do we get a chance to heal the wound level?
Yeah, so everyone is healing 1 damage in between encounters again, so you will be, a mess or totally fine, although your armor will still be marked if you've marked it already. So yeah, I think you're like, this tunnel is going down deeper, and the kind of the floor of these tunnels is all sand, although it seems like there's like some obsidian or some kind of glassed sand in there as you get deeper and deeper. But it's all very rough. There's no real pattern to it. And you're finding your way into this, very deep cavern that is, full of sand like this. That same kind of white powder sand that you saw up above at the down dropship. And here there's like there's iridescent patterns on the walls of the cavern. Like all the way up, even if there's like no way in hell that anyone, man or dog would have been able to reach up there to make a marking on it. So it's all very kind of towering in terms of what you're seeing in here. So yeah, up close and personal. Are we shooting? Yeah. Okay, so let's see what our aliens do today. A 5 again. Wow. Okay, so all successes, but all lower than 5. So yeah, the dogs just come out of the woodwork.
So if you wanted to use a strength, this would be a good time to use it.
So yeah, everyone is taking
Just
a kill
saying.
right now. So if you wanted to save the day.
Sure. Yeah.
That is the correct answer.
So yeah, why don't we see, like think about how you want to win the fight, and then tell us a flashback that informs what's going to happen, or vice versa. Think of a cool flashback and then work it into how you're going to win the fight.
Yeah, so we're in a cavern with like an uneven kind of actually I was looking at what the trooper has. I think what's gonna happen is like it's dark, even though we've got lights. I think there's this like moment where like, yeah, these creatures, these dogs are kind of like I think for this like last push, they've been like howling up a storm to let us know that they're coming. And in the dark it's hard to like tell because it's also echoing over the echoing all over the cavern system. And I think like Crestmere, who has been, just kind of silent and just saying yes to whatever. There's like a moment where they're just like really still, and then like quick as a flash, they're gonna take out like a flare and just throw it out into the sky, just illuminate, and it just shows like, yeah, this actually, I'm going to say because they only have a slug rifle. It's probably not as big a crowd as they usually is. It's just the bark. It's like the dregs of it, and it's just the barking is making it loud. But as the flare kind of sputters out, and you see like, yeah, these dogs. I think like you just get like shots of, again, kind of like precision, bang, 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 as the flare sails over. And I think there's like, every time there's like a bang, we get like a shot of what kind of looks like a farm. I'm imagining there's a farm in the middle of the night, and it's really dark. It's kind of like a cloudy, moonless kind of like night, and there's this young kid on this like standing over like this fence, and there's like, sheep behind them, and in front of them is like this thorny kind of like wood where there's like howling and barking coming from, and and the kid, like, all they got is like a rifle and a lantern, and they look desperate as they like throw the lantern into like the wood to like get some light in. And when the kid throws the lantern, we get a shot of like the flare coming out, and Crestmere just very methodically, silently picking off these dogs.
Okay, cool. So you can give that a cool name on your character sheet to remember it by, and then roll d6 for kills.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say a mass, because I can only
Yeah.
get like a d6 of them. Okay.
Well, we did catch it all on camera.
Oh no, just the one dog. It's the veteran dog. It's the big one, the one that got away.
That last alpha. Yeah. Okay. And I think you.
I think he can roll a d10 because it's your best weapon at your best at the best range. It's you roll whatever the maximum die is.
I think it's your weapon at best range.
Oh.
So it's whatever
okay.
weapon you currently have. Although technically, you can
using.
switch to grenades for free, right?
Yeah, but that would I would have to remake the entire thing.
No, that's cool.
The entire flashback.
It's all good. No.
I don't think that kid in the farm threw
grenades.
And
after everything that happened before, that's me misremembering the rules. I thought it was your best weapon at your best range.
No worries.
So yeah, I think like when you like put down the last old alpha in the pack, you find two ragged skeletal humans hiding out. And when you examine them or take them out into the light of day, you can see brigade tattoos on their arms. Right, they are like misshapen from the kind of near starvation diet they've been on, but these guys are troopers. And they have, it's like they have been marked by their time here. Like they have been like carved into with little laser cutters or whatever, and you kind of can work out that that's how they've been doing markings on the wall or in the sand with a laser cutter. So yeah, these are two guys whose names you will, when they finally get ID'd upstairs, will be McCready, who is definitely a survivor name, right? And Ward. Okay, so that's the final encounter. So I think that's worth a scene before we go to some bookkeeping. What's the reaction in the company from this?
Crestmere, that's exactly the sort of thing that I expect from troopers. You made up for yourself today.
Thank you, sir. I think Crestmere is like staring at the dog and only kind of like jolted up a bit to look at Sergeant Dietrich. I'm just giving a salute.
Don't call me sir and don't salute. You earned that. Just my captain or major around or some other ranking officer. Yeah, but otherwise, don't worry about it.
Yes, sir. Sergeant.
What's the reaction or the wrap up talk from the major?
So as soon as I am aware that there are like POWs, essentially, we are going to like they go onto stretchers and are covered in blankets, and we double time them back to the dropship, and they're isolated. No one's allowed to talk to them. It's quarantine procedures for them. Tell everybody, like congratulate the troopers. This is a big deal that we got a couple of our guys back, and they should be very proud of themselves. But that they're badly injured, and they'll know more when we know more. And I will be questioning them along with Grabowski. Borowski. I will be questioning them along with Borowski before we turn them over to anyone.
Okay. Okay, cool. So,
I tell the captain that he should feel free to drill Trooper Crestmere on the proper use of grenades until he is satisfied that it has taken.
If I have our movie star Crestmere and a camera, we're gonna shoot a training film.
Do's and don'ts. Tossing a grenade.
Let's go ahead and show everyone what you've learned, Crestmere.
Cressmere, who did not realize this was didn't know this was part of the gig, apparently. It's just, yes.
I mean, what's the line? Think twice before you take out a grenade. These things aren't free.
I mean, this is the perfect set, right? Because like Miter's whole thing is like, yes, we have to have grenades because we can have these aliens hiding down in these holes, and we need to be able to drop grenades into them. But so it's got the perfect yes, in this scenario, toss grenades down here.
Yeah, I get a feeling Cressmere does have to be fed their lines, though. they're articulating the wrong way, not the way the propaganda needs them to be.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the final shot that we'll see? At the very end of a training session with new troopers. What's the final frame of that training video?
Final frame is Captain Miter shaking Cressmere's hand and saying, congratulations on your what's the medal that they earned?
Crimson Sword or Crimson Star?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I think Crimson Sword for a trooper.
Yeah,
and then it changes when you're ranking higher. Yeah. So see, you learn how to use your grenades properly. You could be earning your first Crimson Sword too.
Cool. Okay. So the end of the mission. Everyone heals all their damage. Whoever has the most kills in the mission gains a level, and no prizes. No one needs to do the math for that. It's Miter. Everyone else rolls 1d10, and the best roll also gains a level. So everyone except Brian can roll a d10. Try to roll high, or try to roll the same number as everyone else. That also works.
Wow. Well, Cressmere shouldn't have earned a level anyway from.
Yeah. Well, okay. So Dietrich gets the level. So when you get a level, two things happen. You add a point to either FA or NFA, and you gain one new flashback slot. So could be a strength or a weakness, depending on which has less. Which of less you've already unlocked.
Quick question.
Yeah.
With do we reset armor as well?
Yeah, everything goes
Okay.
back to fully available at the end of the planet. So your combat drugs, your armor, all your health. Yeah.
Okay, and then you said we add another strength or weakness, whichever is the next one up.
Yeah. So if you've got the same number, it'll be a strength.
Got it.
Okay. Then everyone gets to get some new stuff. So the first development that everyone gets is to improve one weapon by 1 step at 1 range. So that means for Leandro, I guess you can improve your slug rifle at close, near, or far. And the next step is basically a D6 becomes a D10 or a 1 becomes a D6. You could also improve grenades from 1d10 to 2d6. Or if you want to stay on the good side of people, you could switch your grenades at near range from 1 to 1d6. Nobody ever does that.
Yeah, I think I want to prove that I can hit something with a grenade without hitting fellow soldiers. I think I'll improve close to the slug rifle.
It's like a 1d6, 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 which is, a perfectly rounded weapon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what everyone does. The second thing is that everyone gets a chance to do something else. So that is either to get an entirely new piece of gear, to increase a different weapon in the same way that you just did, or to increase your rank if you use a strength. So the only person who used a strength on this planet was Crestmere. So you can try to get promoted to corporal. I hear they give out e-cannons to corporals, and those weapons seem pretty
It's
good,
true.
right?
Yeah, or you could get a
The machine gun is the other
a
option.
machine gun. Yeah,
Yeah,
a great big old machine gun if you wanted. Yeah.
So make the roll and then decide. That's what I usually suggest. So it's basically it's an NFA check to get something else.
Okay.
So everyone gets to do this.
And that's for the second improvement?
For the second improvement, yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Nice. Congratulations, Corporal.
So, Leandro, are you going for that promotion, or are you improving a different weapon or getting a different weapon?
I think I might as well go for the promotion.
Yeah. Don't waste that strength use. Get that promotion.
Yeah.
Cool. Miter gets another improvement. Dietrich does not, and obviously Jim BD gets it automatically.
Captain Miter, having completed the paperwork for me, I then submit it and requisition a brand new TPK grenade.
Nice. Which does exactly what it says on the tin, if you're wondering, Leandro. In fact, the more kills it inflicts on the party, the more effective it is.
Yeah, how does it? Okay,
So I think, tell me what you think, Leandro, but I think, your two promo pieces go out, here is Trooper Crestmere discovering a downed dropship, and then the instructional video. And I think, maybe the brass think that they can't be giving this much airtime to a trooper. I mean, Corporal is much more, relatable, but also it has some authority to it. So, you need that promotion.
Yeah,
Well,
I feel like okay.
And it's also good propaganda for, like, he started as a trooper, but was so successful on his single, on this single mission that he received a promotion right away. This could be you. So,
you want to know more?
Yeah, successful. Well, he survived. That's success enough.
Yeah, so like in the barracks, can we get a scene with Crestmere and Dietrich, moving up in the world, Corporal Crestmere, learning the ropes from Dietrich?
This is your rifle, Crestmere. This is your gun. Be careful not to confuse the two in the field. It may lead to embarrassment.
I would rather not embarrass anyone in the field, Sergeant.
Although, being as you're so pretty, if there's a camera on, who knows, it might encourage more people to enlist.
All the more reason to not embarrass myself or yourself or anyone in the company.
You don't need to worry about embarrassing me. You just need to worry about killing me, because I keep you alive. You need to worry about embarrassing BD. You embarrass the major. Don't embarrass the major.
Yes, Sergeant. I'll try not to. I think, as Chris was saying this, they've got an eye where to see, like, this is going to be a camera now following wherever they go.
Yeah, what was the name of that cameraman? Spadmeyer or something? Is following you around, a day in the life of newly minted Corporal Crestmere.
Spudmeyer, I think, is the
okay.
name that we gave him. Yeah.
Got to be careful not to confuse him with Spunkmeyer.
Yeah, two completely different people.
Spudmeyer, Get out.
Sergeant, if I were prettier and on the other side of the camera, would I be getting promoted? Because I have been a trooper for like 6 months now, and it is not fair. I mean, I am...
Spudmeyer, this is the military. The second
yeah.
you start thinking about things being fair is the second somebody puts a bullet in you, or a tooth in you, or some other thing in you that renders you less than lively.
Well, Sergeant, at least you didn't say an energy bolt, because then I might take that personally. But, just a bullet or a tooth, hell, I signed up for that.
Now listen, I've kept you alive, so I've done my job. You give Crestmere and I, you give us a few minutes here to talk shop, because I've got some sergeant to corporal wisdom to impart, given that I was in his shoes at one point.
What are you saying, Sarge? That this is not for public consumption? Is this like juicy stuff?
I am saying that there are a number of places that I can put that camera.
Yes, sir. I understand, Sergeant. No.
I'm glad we have this understanding between us. Now, you come back in about 5 minutes, and you can go on following him around, because the good news there is, if he's first, anything harmful is probably going to hit him first. So, you just need to make sure you don't get splatter on the camera lens, I guess.
Thank you, Sarge. I will be outside.
And then carry on with dispensing sergeantly to corporal wisdom.
I'm just keeping mum throughout all that. Dietrich's got the wisdom. I'm here to look pretty, apparently, and maybe shield Spudmeyer from
and
harm.
purely for the record, I would not exactly consider it wisdom, because the wisdom that he is imparting is try not to die.
Mm-hmm.
This side toward enemy. Also, if you have to count, make sure you're counting your rounds and how many are left in the clip.
Yes, Sergeant. Yes, Sergeant. Just nodding.
Okay. We want to do a quick interrogation scene before you bump up these lost troopers up to brigade.
Yeah, I think I get in there with my friend from Special Services, and we get a medic in there, and we hit them up with some, like a cocktail of painkillers and inhibition lowerers and stuff like this, and just start. I'm leaving it to my Special Services colleague to ask the questions, but I'm present there for it while it's going on.
So I think, these two guys are not in great shape mentally or physically. And I think, they're not able to give you much. They don't even know how long they've been on planet. You've got to get that out from the airframe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've been there for like maybe 6 or 7 years.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
How did they stay alive? Did they encounter? I mean, clearly somebody must have fed them, or did they scavenge, or what?
They've been kind of, like acting as pack members with the aliens. They somehow got spared and just got taken in. Vaguely useful pack members with strange appendages, right?
So they did. Okay, so they went native.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So what sorts of things did you, what sorts of things did they do at any point? Did they ever see anything besides these, the dogs?
They, so again, like they're, their take on time is really
Sure.
poor. But
Yep.
like these dogs were like that when they found them, as far as they remember. Like they're not great witnesses, but they don't remember anyone visiting or anything majorly happening. So if anyone did do it, it is from like before they arrived.
And how did they get separated from their?
Well,
party?
they were doing a recon mission
Yep.
with that dropship. So, but everyone else, died in the crash or got
Just
eaten
got
shortly
shredded.
thereafter.
Okay, got it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask them about dreams they had while they were there. Anything strange? Any symbols that showed up in your dreams? Any person or being that recurred in them while you were on the planet?
They and this seems to be something that they could definitely speak to as being like a ritual. They like all of those dogs would have eaten these crystals that were in the water in that first cavern you came from, and they're hallucinogenic or something. That's certainly something you can box up. Send a retrieval pattern to party to box them up and send them for testing.
Oh yeah,
And,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I think you'll probably see that this is part of the thing that results in the genetic. They weren't there long enough, obviously, but I think their genetic material has already started to change slightly, right?
Interesting.
From
Okay.
ingesting those crystals.
Sure. Okay. So then I'm going to recommend them for quarantine, that we continue to consider them that officially they remain KIA.
Okay.
Because I assume if we go back and look them up, they're probably missing, presumed. Action,
pretty much
right?
written off at this stage.
Yeah. Very explicit. We are not updating that bit of their records. And we're going to I'm going to hand them directly over to special services.
Yeah.
Great.
So I guess like a standard squad of 8 or 9 with, maybe 3 crew on the dropship gives 12 total. And you probably only found like 4 or 5 dog tags down there to like positively identify those. But, the others that you didn't find are just lost in the sand, right?
Sure.
So
yeah.
It's not like there's a gap that you have to fill. You just say, we found the dropship, we found these 4 or 5 dog tags worth, everyone else.
Yeah. But these 2 are going directly to special services, special delivery, gift wrapped from me with the, transcript of our interview.
Okay, cool.
Minus the part where I asked them about stuff showing up in their dreams.
Yeah. Okay. That was off the record.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Miter? What are you getting up to after you get back up topside?
It's certainly making sure everyone has seen the training video. I haven't heard back about, my rewrite for the field manual, but I'm sure they're going to be issuing that anytime now. So I think I maybe am just, like Crestmere's field manual, going ahead and modifying everyone under my commands field manuals to include the updated version.
Yeah.
That I'm sure is going to be the official version, any day now.
Yeah. Well, like with Crestmere's star power attached to this project now, I think it's getting a lot of play with Brigade. And I think, I think the field manual is maybe like one of those old training manuals, a ring binder with, bits that you can insert after ripping out the old version, right? So it's easy to update. And I think, you know, everyone gets a packet of new updates from Brigade, and like there's a, like, it's not quite called the Crestmere rule, but it's something. You know, Miner's name doesn't get on it, but it's like as shown on Planet Matisse by Trooper, now Corporal Crestmere. You know, so he's getting the credit in everyone's mind for this, right?
Oh, that it's in there. Yeah. Miner's very pleased.
I mean, that's his rule, right? He doesn't care what the label is.
Yeah, absolutely. And now he's starting to think, well, like, what else needs revision? What more can we use? Make Crestmere the what would be the term? The poster boy, the spokesman of whatever other revisions I need done.
Yeah, so I think, you know, people are, you know, if they have a problem with this, Crestmere is now getting the heat on this. Well, I like using my grenades. So long as I kept away from Miter, nobody cared. But now it's in the manual. It's like, So yeah, it's a bit of a drag for some people, but you know, hey, everyone is going to be on warning now for flagrantly disregarding the grenade rules and killing your buddies. I mean, which was apparently not a problem before. Okay. Anyone want to add anything else before we wrap up? Good. Okay. We will stop recording.